Okay, so I have another topic, I guess, to think about. So there's sort of been this question that I've sort of been wrestling with in my mind. And we see it a lot on social media, and we see it a lot on the internet, I guess. And I guess here's the question, right? If you love someone and you care about them and their well-being, do you enable them? Do you enable them in actions that may be self-destructive? Or would you be like the stick in their shoe and try to get them to stop the behavior? Often, like I think more often, we see like the former, right? We see people in the pursuit of trying to make people feel better. I guess it'd be a positive feedback loop of enabling them in actions that may be somewhat self-destructive. I think because you want them to feel good or not be ashamed or not be embarrassed or not be feeling like they've messed up or that they're less than or something wrong with them. I think very often we see patterns of enabling. And when there's pushback of saying, you know, you probably shouldn't be doing this, there's a lot of negativity to that. And it doesn't really get like talked about or spoken of, right? And so regarding this idea, imagine if you have someone that you care about in your family, close friend group, coworker, someone that you really care about, and you genuinely you want them to be healthy and be happy and live a long, healthy life. If they started doing like activities or actions that were sort of harming themselves and harming that idea of health and longevity, what would you do? How would you respond to that? This can be used in like a myriad of situations. But take like alcoholism. So you take someone who has been an alcoholic for however long, and you know that it's fairly self-destructive. You know, they've lost jobs or money or whatever. But it makes them feel good to drink, and for whatever reason it helps them cope with life. It helps them deal with whatever problems they got going on. Maybe they just like the flavor of it, maybe they like going out, maybe whatever the case may be. If you knew that they had a problem and you knew it was harming them when they would partake, would you buy them alcohol? Or would you take them out to a bar where you know pretty well that they're gonna drink and it's not gonna be any good for anybody? Would you do that? Or would you tell them, like, let's not do that, let's go somewhere else, let's go mini golf, or let's go hang out anywhere that there's not alcohol, right? Because they don't want to get, so you don't want them to be pressured. Or would you buy them like a case of beer and say, if it makes you feel better, let's go, right? Would you enable their self-destructive behavior? One of them is going to make them like feel good now, right? They want to feel good now, so you buy them alcohol. If it's a gambling problem, you take them to the casino. If it's an eating problem, you take them to like an all-you-can-eat buffet. If it's whatever situation, would you put them in a situation where you're only going to further compound the problem in the like hope of they feel good now because you enabled them? Or would you say to yourself, I guess, like, I don't care if they're mad at me now, the future them might thank me. The future them might appreciate this. Their life in 15 years will be better off because I've tried to pursue something better for them. I think very often we don't try to intervene because we don't want them to dislike us. We don't want to be disliked. We don't want to feel like we're controlling someone else's life or telling them what to do. We don't want to be hated on or shunned. And so the easier thing to do is either ignore it and just sort of let them do what they're going to do, or we enable them and put them in situations where they can only further partake in the actions. And so, again, because I'm a trainer, when I tell people I want them to exercise and be healthy, and I'm like a stick in their shoe because they don't want to hear it, they've heard it 1,000 times, it's because I care. You don't have to train with me. You don't got to go to my gym. That doesn't bother me. You can go wherever you want. Find any trainer you want. I mean, not any trainer you want. Some of them are not very good. But that's for another time. You don't have to train with me. I'm just trying to get people to prioritize themselves and to be the stick in their shoe and say, I'm not telling you this because I hate you. I'm not trying to like shame you. But it seems like you're having these self-destructive behaviors, and I don't want to see you die at an early age out of something so preventable as like blood pressure issues. Like, you can directly affect your own health. And so my desire and my goal as a trainer, since I've started, is to not enable people in behaviors that are only going to further lead them to an unhealthy life. And so with some of our posts, whether it's me or Bree or other coaches, it seems pretty redundant. A lot of people are probably trying to make money off of you. A lot of people are selling nonsense. Like, it's not get rich quick schemes, it's like get slim quick schemes. And I mean, if it works, that's great and all, but I guess our goal is to help strengthen you to overcome these behaviors that may be so ingrained in you that you don't have the complete willpower to overcome them. It's hard to do alone. It's very difficult to start new behaviors that you've never had before, especially if you don't have a support system around you. Sometimes it takes the fear of death for people to kind of kick on this, like, oh my God, I got to do something because I'm going to die. Like, your doctor comes and tells you, like, hey, your organs are failing. I highly suggest you change up your life a little bit. That's a pretty good way to get people on board. But that's not exactly how far it should get. until you do something about it. And so I think we all need to put like our own pride aside, I guess. I don't know if it's pride, but put your own ego of like, I don't want them to be upset at me because I told them to stop, eating cheesecakes every day. Or like, I don't want my wife to get upset at me because I told her we shouldn't get fast food anymore. Or I don't want to tell my husband he should stop drinking. Or I don't want to go, he asked me to get him a 6-pack when I went to the store, but I don't want to get him one because I don't think it's good for him. But you do it anyway because you don't want to be upset. You don't want him to get mad at you. Or friends, if you see them on social media, whatever they're doing, loved ones, family members, neighbors, coworkers, whoever they are. I think it's easy to praise because not only will it make them feel better, but they'll respond to you better because you made them feel good. But that's only in the moment. And that's like, I guess, kind of sad to me. Like me praising you now for a behavior that I know is slowly killing you doesn't really make me feel very good. I mean, and I'm sure that when you stop and think about it, you probably feel the same way. You probably would agree with me that when you see someone doing something that you know they shouldn't be doing, it kind of sucks a little bit. It kind of hurts. But you also think that like, well, what am I gonna do, right? What can I do? But I think enough people coming together and not shaming, not trying to embarrass them, but promoting a better lifestyle. I think if we did that, they may have pushback at first, and that's pretty normal. You don't want to be told that you're doing something wrong, or that you're messing something up, or you're like slowly killing yourself. But I think what's so sad to me is that many of us, most all of us, are more willing to sit back and just ignore it than to be the one in their life and say, hey, you probably shouldn't be doing this. I mean, it can go from like something physical to like physically self-harming to like eating disorders, smoking, drinking, gambling, like hard drugs. It can go from like dropping out of school, not caring about your grades, like high schoolers, I guess it would be, to like ditching work, or people who are like always resentful, hold grudges, like constantly sort of depressed. And I know like that's a lot of these are clinical issues, right? That like I'm by no means fit to handle addiction issues or mental health problems. But what I can do is help promote them to say, I think you should go see somebody. I think you should go to a church. I think you should go see a therapist. I think you should take up meditation. I think you should join AA. I think you should stop smoking. I think you should find a way to put down the cocaine or the heroin or the cheeseburgers, right? It's because we care that we say something. We're not trying to tell you what to do because we just want you to do it or to be a boss of you. I mean, not all of us. I'm sure some people are. Some people are jerks, and they may just want to like have their say because it's their say. But there are those of us who genuinely care, and we're only telling you like because we care. It's because I care about you that I'm bringing this up. It's because I want you to live a longer life that I'm suggesting you go to the gym or go walk around the block. It's because I care about your health and the happiness that you will have when you're healthier, because you can now spend more quality time with your family. I think that's the reason why we try to post so much and we try to inspire others to make a change in their life, because there are many people I know, and like I've trained myself, who don't have any support system at home. Like my voice of telling them to, you know, eat better, go to sleep earlier, stay off your phone, definitely stay off social media if you can. Like, sometimes we're the only voice in their life that is saying this. And I've seen like the impact that like one voice can make. Now imagine if we all made it. Imagine if we all stepped up and said, hey, I understand that you doing this behavior is making you feel good, but you need to understand that these behaviors may ultimately be your own demise as well. And so I suggest that we all start getting on the stick in the shoe method, and we all try to be that person to others where we say, hey, this behavior that you're doing, I want you to not do that anymore because it's not benefiting you. Maybe it's benefiting you like right now, makes you feel good if I play along with it. Maybe it's making you feel good like right now. But I think ultimately your behaviors are slowly killing you. And it genuinely makes me sad when I see people have actions and I'm like slowly watching them die. Like you're ending your life slowly when I know it's preventable. That kind of breaks my heart. People I care about, people all around me. And I'm sure you have similar concerns, similar like people. Maybe it's you. Maybe if you're watching this, you know what that thing is. You know that you shouldn't be doing it because it probably isn't good for you. And I'm here to tell you that if you know what that thing is, like I think you should stop. Slowly, go talk to somebody. There's plenty of resources. There's like apps and there's all types of professionals out there. If it's a trainer you want, then you can hit me up. I'd be more than happy to talk with you and figure out what we can do to help. But I don't think that like praising certain actions is the way to go. I know mental health and feeling good in your own skin is good, and I'm all about that. I want people to feel good and not feel embarrassed. But being embarrassed and slowly dying are very different things. And so, yeah, that's what I've been thinking about. I don't know if you're going to agree or not, but I think we could all be a little bit more forward thinking and say, hey, I'm going to help you overcome this demon or this problem you have. Now, I'm not saying like video games or stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure there are, but I'm not a therapist, so stuff like that's out of my control. I guess I could just specifically say health and fitness and wellness. It's important that you take care of your body. Just like you take care of a car, or you take care of your house, take care of your lawn, whatever. Take care of your phone. Everybody wants to update their phone. Everybody wants to have a clean phone. No one wants to get it dirty. No one wants to, if the screen cracks, you replace it. But yet, people will slowly let themselves age without ever taking care of it. And they're just taking years off of their life. And it's like happening right in front of us. And you're watching them slowly die. You're watching them sort of kill themselves in a very slow way. All because you don't want to say, I don't think you should be doing this. I don't think you should be on medication your whole life. I think there are things you can do to benefit yourself that don't involve taking 16 medications every day. But that's just me. Let me know what you think.